My name is Ian and welcome to my gardening channel, Planted. Now in this video I want to talk to you about gardening in the winter, and in particular November, December and January. These months in the northeast are very cold, snowy, wet and damp, and it's easy to think that there's not a lot that you can do. But in the description of this video I'm going to post a number of links to videos that I've previously produced, and they're going to contain a number of subjects that you can follow along with and complete ahead of next spring. All of this is to make next spring much more successful and much more productive. How I heat my frost-free greenhouse is featured. Having a small space that's frost-free that lets you overwinter tender plants, I find a very valuable tool. You can build your own greenhouse, you can modify a greenhouse, and all I have is this little thermo cube that cuts in at 38 degrees and switches off, I think it's at 44 degrees. And I have a 400 watt lamp. So when my greenhouse hits that temperature, the lamp will come on. It might come on for 10 minutes, it might come on for an hour. But I know that my greenhouse is frost-free. You can do this too. When it comes to growing plants successfully, one of the most important skills, I think, is that of propagation. So one of the links will take you to a video I did on how to build your own heated propagator. Now, having a little small propagator that you start loading up in January and February means that come March and April time, you are very much ahead of the game. It's very flexible, very affordable, and very productive. And I would encourage you, if you've got children or grandchildren, to look at this video and see how you could modify it to make it fit your situation. Being able to take cuttings and grow your own plants is a very, very rewarding skill. Good luck. Another video that will be featured is that of using leaves to insulate your plants. Now, by now, maybe you're aware that I like growing tender plants, but tender plants don't like to go through the winters that we have here. So I will frequently put down a layer of leaves around plants and also over the soil to help that decomposition process and to prevent the plants from getting prolonged periods of frost. Leaves are nature's blanket. They have a wonderful way of slowing down the wind speed, keeping the plant warm, reducing desiccation, and also helping the soil improve in vitality. So don't pay to have them taken away. Bring them into your yard, put them as a layer, and you see how it will improve the vitality of your garden. Last year, I replaced a few windows in my old house you see behind me, and rather than throwing away those old window panes, I turned them into a little mini greenhouse that I put around my rather beautiful Edgeworthia that you see behind me here. That Edgeworthia is a borderline plant, it's a zone 7, but I will show you how to make this little mini greenhouse and how it reduces desiccation and keeps the plant alive and thriving. I've always referred to dahlias as being a great beginner plant. They're very rewarding, very, very available, very affordable. There's a color and size to suit everybody. So there's actually two videos. There's one that is lifting dahlias, which is very appropriate for right now. We've just had the first frost. Now it's the perfect time to cut them back, lift them, dry them slightly, and store them for the winter. But then there's also a video on what to do next year when it comes time to planting them. One of my favorite jobs at this time of the year is sweeping up and collecting leaves. I wait for a nice, bright, sunny day and make sure that the leaves are dry, and it makes the job 10 times easier. But rather than relying on a leaf blower to do all the work, I like to utilize two tools. Here you see me with a very lightweight snow shovel, and I use this to flick the leaves and move them wherever it is that I want them to go. And later on you'll see me with two pieces of board that I use as a trap to pick up the leaves. And this is by far the best way to do this job. And with the majority of the leaves moved, it means that you're not using your leaf blower all that often and for a long period of time making all that noise. So contractors and homeowners, if you're addicted to your leaf blower, let me talk you off the edge and introduce you to the old-fashioned way of moving leaves with a snowblow shovel. It's very easy and it works just great. And then you can use your leaf blower just to take off those few leaves that are left. And it's also quicker. How about that? So just to reiterate the plan here, you're using these two pieces of plywood board to physically pick up the leaves and move them where you want them. Now, I want to put these in my garden on a nice even layer. And I will put them probably when they fall initially, they'll be maybe a foot to 10 inches thick. It won't take long before they settle down to maybe 8 inches. So I will typically do a number of applications to get me a nice even layer that's not too dense. And this means that you can split your job up into a few weekends. This is a load of leaves that came down recently, and we'll get those all cleared away, put in the garden on a nice even layer. And then in another week or so there'll be more leaves, and I can go in and fill in any areas and really get my plants protected from the winter. Now I have to stress, this is just old-fashioned. This is what farmers have been doing for centuries to help their crops grow through the winter and their plants survive. Here you see me with the boards carrying those leaves to the location where I want them. This whole job took less than an hour. I would think maybe 45 minutes from start to finish. And you look back and you see all this work that's done, and it really is very rewarding. So if you're not drawn to working with leaves, give it a go. It's good exercise, makes your yard look good, and your plants will love it next year. Now I do want to point out that not everybody's going to have a lot of open space. I lift many of my plants and I've given many plants away. You'll have some plants in your yard that don't want to be covered. They are tough and vibrant and very healthy and will benefit from exposure to the sun. So you don't want to cover everything in your garden, just those plants and those areas that you've got easy access to. This is a plant called a Rhododendron, and if I leave it up in the winter, the wind will blow it around, it starts to shred. I do like it, but I'm going to sacrifice it for what I think is a very, very easy trick. Now I don't want the leaves that I've laid in my garden to blow away. So what I do is I lay these branches down on top of those leaves and they'll stay there all winter, holding the leaves in place. And this means that I get many, many, many days of my soil profile above freezing. That is ideal. And finally, let's take a little look at my beautiful Musa Basjoo. This has been the talking point this year. I've had people literally stop as they walk by to comment on what is this amazing plant. You can see here that the leaves have started to shred, and that's because the winds have picked up, and this is how the leaves are designed to accommodate a strong wind. Rather than the leaf breaking, it shreds. Its performance is diminished a little bit, but it's still going strong. We had a frost a few nights ago, so this plant is starting to go into its dormant phase. Now if I leave it like this and I get some more frosts, all these leaves will go black and I'll end up with a very soggy, slimy mess. So I may as well address it now, remove the leaves, prevent the plant from photosynthesizing, and help it move into its very dormant state. So this Musa Basjoo has been spectacular. It's the hardy banana. Do a search for it online, you will find it. But this plant has put on huge growth this year. Just look at the size of those stems. And I've got lots of pups that I'll be giving away next spring. So thank you for watching Planted with myself, Ian. Do go and check out all those videos. There's lots of very useful information there. And look at all of that foliage that I've just removed off the banana. Bye for now.